Only people understand we in the war. I'm with all that. Let's get it. Better than your favorite rapper. I can say it backwards. I'm these rappers' favorite. Yo, better. I'm who they coming after. Why you replay that back to understand? Let me make them matter. Coming at whoever so I can eliminate the chatter. Tell Eminem I don't care who's defending him. I don't make religious balance, but I will finish him. I saw you kneeling in the Super Bowl. Look feminine. Why?
Oops. It cut on before I was ready. This is why you don't get stoned before you go live. Somebody told me there was audio of Trump, and I spent like probably 10, 15 minutes looking for the audio. It doesn't freaking exist. I don't know who told me that, but you lied. You absolutely lied. There's no audio, but there are transcripts. But I said that I was going to come on here and talk about Ukraine. I'm going to talk about Russia, briefly talk about Canada and how useless I think it is that any Americans talking about it or donating money to it. But whatever. Do you remember the last live we had with Mo, and she brought up why why America's paying so much attention to Ukraine could possibly be because of the $3 billion in loans that Joe Biden gave to them when he was vice president?
You mean that?
Was that? I can't remember I don't remember if I agreed with her or disagreed, because I don't disagree with her, but I think it's a multifaceted issue. But anyways, what's up, Liddell? Look, you guys can hop on if you want to hop on and give your commentary on this too. Hop on here. It'll be fun. Hold on, I'll put it in the chat right now.
Boom. You caught me in my bedtime routine.
All right. So I'm going to play this clip, and then I don't have the Trump audio of what they accused him of, but I can give you a general synopsis. He pretty much called and said, "Oh, congratulations on your victory." I don't think that he ever questioned him on Joe Biden or asked him to do anything. He did talk about issues that were going on in the country, but he didn't ask them like, "Hey, I need you to do this for me. Can you go do this for me?" Like Democrats are making it seem because they're dramatic as shit. And they lie, bro. That's not what happened. I'm too high to come on.
The only thing that ever was given was the testimony from Schiff, which was all proven to be BS. He made it up. Yeah. Like the transcripts that they had did not show a quid pro quo.
Well, here's the audio. This is of Joe.
I remember going over convincing our team or others to convincing that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, 12, 13 times to Keith, and I was supposed to announce that there's another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out the press, and I said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to. We're not."
You can't hear it. You can't hear that. Can you hear it?
Quiet. It's kind of quiet.
It's kind of quiet. Yeah.
Maybe I can find this video. But this is where he talks about guaranteeing loans and then being willing to walk away, and like he's a muscle man.
It's very, very low. Dang, this I had this. I don't even think I downloaded this clip. That clip is so old. Pretty much what he's openly saying, like, look, I told them they had billions in loans guaranteed if they removed this particular person who was just not good for business, which is quid pro quo. You can't ask somebody to do something for you and then pay them when they do it. Hello. But everyone just turned a blind eye to it, like nothing was going on. It's actually pretty scary at the time when I was really going hard about this. This was April 2019.
See, and all that Trump ever did was he said you should look into this. You should look into you should investigate these loans or this money, particularly with
Right.
Burisma, right? Like that was the whole thing. Is like that you see Joe on tape trying to legit muscle him, and then the quid pro quo that supposedly Trump was under was just saying, "Hey, after the conversation's over, maybe you might want to look into this." Sketchy.
Right. Crazy, right? Trump gets accused of quid pro quo, and he literally gave them nothing. In Ukraine, does it full blown, and we don't do nothing. The prosecutor that was looking into Hunter. Yep, absolutely. I'm mad that audio doesn't work.
It was just quiet. You could hear it if it was turned up a little bit, but it was quiet. But I did the whole thing I was saying earlier though. I do wonder is like you got Ukraine, you got half the country that probably wants to be with Russia.
Right.
Like,
I agree. They
like
do.
they're a part of the Soviet Union, right? And then they broke up. I don't know that Ukraine is as sovereign as they want everybody to believe they are. And so
Right.
this whole false flag thing, I'm wondering if the troops are there to back up some people overthrowing the government, and it's just a farce.
Who knows? Here's the actual audio. I found it.
I remember going over convincing our team or others to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was 6 hours. I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well,
so we can have the current sitting president say openly that he gave them billions in loans for them to fire someone who was investigating his son, which is the whole Burisma case, which it was operating as a shell company. Okay, he was somehow, what was he, like the executive of oil? Like, what the fuck does Hunter know about oil? And there were several different payouts that went out. He doesn't know shit.
He knows about them crack pipe kids. That's what he knows about.
Council of Foreign Relations knew about it. That's up for debate. The point of me bringing this up is I agree with Mo's sentiments on this is another reason why I think Joe Biden is taking a very it's not a very firm stance against Russia, I have to say. It's not a very firm stance because pro-Russia groups blew a hole into a school and they shot another missile or shelling, whatever you want to call it, into a neighborhood full of civilians, and we're calling it false flags.
Well, listen to that language you just used. You said pro-Russia groups. Pro-Russia groups. Yes. That's what they're saying, right? Like, we don't even know if that's Russian, state actors or whether that's Ukrainian who are inside of Russia or Russian people inside of Ukraine who legit want to be part of the Soviet Union. Like, people forget that they had it dialed, and there's a group of people that grew up in that and they want it back.
Sure. But I'm just speaking in terms of both sides denying that anything has been done. Well, I don't think Russia denied it, but Ukraine denied it. And it said it had nothing to do with them. And in our country, it's saying it's a false flag, which I don't believe at all. I just don't. I hear what you're saying, and it could possibly be one of those groups. But even if so, that's an act against Ukraine. It's an act against Ukraine. And Russia's not doing anything about it, and neither is Biden. Why is that? I think Biden's bluffing. I genuinely think he's stalling because I don't think he wants to do anything to Russia, because if he does, his mess is coming out, man. Russia's already teamed up with China.
I think they got the goods on him. I think they already know all his paper trail. So it's like they got him in a stalemate. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
How many were there who heard this and laughed about it? What are you talking about? Oh, I mean, look, you're talking about a government that is very corrupt. It's not just Democrats, bro. Republicans are just as corrupt as the left. They were probably sitting there chilling too, like, we got something out of this deal. They probably got a kickback as well. I just think all this is funny. And I think Canada really takes the attention off what's going on here in America. I know I said I was going to talk about that.
It's distraction.
And I'm kind of mad about it.
Yeah.
Kind of mad about it. I am. I won't even lie. It irritates me when I hear Americans get all excited and champion this shit. And I'm like, the fuck does this have to do with us?
I think there's something to be said about the trade routes and how it's going to impact our country. But I think the ridiculous part is, look how much money is exported into this cause, and we don't.
Right.
It's not our sovereignty. That's theirs, and that's something they got to figure out. But we're busy sending money to pretend like we're supporting freedom, when in reality we ain't protecting it here at home. Like, I think I said California example earlier, right? Where you got kids masked up, and that's just a failure on parents. They're all out there walking around like, oh, I ain't got no mask on. Life is good. I got my freedom back. You ain't got nothing back. They're still under a state of emergency. Your kids are in masks. You parents are out there feeling like you got your freedom, and all you got back was the permission to breathe fresh air again. Like, people need to go back, and they need to look 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the past. And they say, damn, how much encroachment can I take here? And it seems like a lot. And so all these little—
You want to know what else is funny?
Things. No, go.
What else is funny is people are actually saying that because of this convoy, it's causing the world to pay attention and open up. That's why parts of America are opening up, because of this convoy. And I'm like, there's an election right around the corner. There are midterms right around the corner. These people don't give a fuck about Canada. They care about winning another election seat. They don't give a shit about Canada. Canada's not helping America.
This is a good point too. Who sends money to us? We're the only country that exports our dollars.
Exactly.
For pretend no freedom, and that's crazy. Yeah, we operate as a charity, and that's kind of the whole UN issue too. Is like we're pretending like we're the world police. Where is the geopolitical allies that are close by to Ukraine? Where's Germany? Where's the UK? Like, where are all these people? And they're just waiting for us to send troops to get. It's a question.
Somebody asked me that question, and he's like, how he said it was, well, Biden needs to question European countries on why they're not doing something. And I said, Biden's not the UN. Why would he ever question another country about what's going on there? That's like Biden. You see, Biden doesn't even pay attention to Trudeau. That's like Biden or Trump talking to Trudeau saying, stop doing what you're doing. Like, I'd be like, bro, focus on your country. Like, what does this have to do with you? Strong aid the weak. Oh God, Grant is here.
Oh, bull, man. Yeah, no, we do, but yeah, at the same time though, we weakened our system so much. There ain't nothing to aid around the world. Like, this is gotcha. We're almost 3 years into this whole thing, and look at the erosion of rights. And now we're gonna sit here and we're gonna say we're gonna export our dollars for freedom to who? Who's got the freedom? We don't. You can't go to the doctor right now and breathe in fresh air. you want to go? You want to go to New York and get your vaccine passport? You want to go to Hawaii? Pull that thing out.
I agree, man. I brought that up yesterday. Yesterday, I don't want to call it a rant because it wasn't me ranting. It was more so me expressing my frustrations as to why we support everything but home. It's like black people, right? Black people will say, "Oh, we need black-owned businesses. We need this," and then you get a ton of black-owned businesses, and they don't even pay any attention to them. And they're like, "Yo, let me get that for the Lolo. Let me get a discount on it. We both black." That's what I feel like
let me
Americans
get
are
the love.
doing.
Let me get on
I
the
feel like
low
that's
level.
what Americans are doing. You're giving your help to someone else when we can use it right here in our country where there are people fighting for medical freedom. I don't get it. Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, I think people forget that you gotta clean your own house first, right? And you can have guests over. And we got a big problem in our own house right now. Like it's messy, it's dirty, and until we get like, I keep talking about this in general senses, but until you get special interests out of politics, and I think this whole bill that they're putting forward right now with like insider trading and stocks and stuff, it's a joke. This is to get your vote. It's a pander. They just want you
Exactly.
to vote for them again, right, one more time, and then they're gonna do it. And it's we got to stop exporting our dollars to, and this is where it gets tricky because we're a capitalist society. Is we
Mm-hmm.
got to stop letting big businesses bully us around, right? Like, and that's truly what this is. This pandemic, or whatever you want to call it, at this point, has really shown is like, look how bully the big companies are. And if you don't think they're exporting your dollars, you're trying. Like, then this is where it goes to like. So now we're doing this with other countries. We're doing this with
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and we can't save a dollar here at home. We just surpassed, I think, $31 trillion in debt. Where's all that money going to come from? Like here in Utah, my taxes just went down, but federally they gone up 6 or 8%, whatever they are. Like people don't
Wow.
understand. Yes, people don't understand. Like we're financially getting entangled into a position where our freedom money, what
Mm-hmm.
keeps us free, those reserves are dry. And so we keep exporting this money to other countries. It sounds nice. Sounds like we're
Mm-hmm.
exporting freedom, but all we're doing is giving away our wealth to the world. And we don't have a clean house right now. So it's not like we can pay the maid to come over and fix everything for us, right? And that's what I think
Yeah.
conservatives are looking at right now is like, oh, the next politicians, the next group of political pundits,
Yes.
they'll clean house. And it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
how? How? They're going to come in and they're going to be enticed by the same dollars as special interest groups of pharma, of
Yep.
whatever else. And so it's like it's this big game that people are playing. It's a shell game. It's like the money's here, now it's here, now it's here, now it's here. Meanwhile, you and I, the American public, are getting fooled into sending our dollars to Canada or to Ukraine or to
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine, sometimes to Israel, right, or wherever it is. It's always somewhere but here.
Venezuela.
Venezuela, right?
Cuba. Australia. People got mad at me when I was like, I don't care about Australia. Well, Australia is just the same thing they say about Canada. Well, it's a mirror of what could happen here. I'm still waiting for what happened in Australia to happen here.
Yeah.
And we've completely
I,
stopped talking about Australia. It's dead.
it's
Nobody's
like
talking
it,
about
it's like it
Australia
never
anymore.
happened. It's like it
Never
never
happened.
happened. I don't
I
know.
agree
It's
with you,
crazy to
Grandpa. That
me.
is the military industrial complex. I agree with that. I don't think most people even really know about the military industrial complex and how it operates. That's how we generate a ton of money.
When we get in this kind of debt, you better believe that there's war coming, or at least the rumor of war. Like that's the crazy part, right? Is you don't even have to look that far into history to realize, like every time the reserves go dry, boom,
War.
war. That's the answer, right? Is like, oh well, we got a war.
I care about other people's. Listen, I'm not even going to change it. No. I think that this country has been caring for other countries for too long. Everybody was angry with how long we were in Afghanistan, rightfully so. But then you're willing to send dollars elsewhere. You're willing to give your attention to other countries, which is not free. Your time costs money. You shouldn't be willingly giving that to another country, which you don't influence at all. Can't listen. Canada, and I want to say this loud, Canada will never influence America. A small country like that influencing this massive country. What would they influence? They don't have the constitution that we have. They don't even have the freedoms we have. I know a lot of people say, well, these freedoms are an illusion. Fine, I'll give you that too. But it's still not America.
How
So why would
often
we
do
ever
you
copy them?
well, how often do you front before you start realizing you ain't getting paid back? Like if this is returning in freedom and dollars, all right, but the world's just locking down even more. And this is my problem, right? You look at Canada, what they're doing right now. They just froze cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
Like people don't even understand. Like they're part of the global wealth banking. The fact that they're able to just turn it off. What do you think they're gonna do here? All you people that got Bitcoin, watch what they're just gonna shut that off one day, and you're gonna be
Hey, wait,
well.
they
Shoot,
already
where
did
my
it.
money?
They already did it. Do you know who Nick
Maybe I
Fuentes
haven't been
is?
paying attention to the news a couple of days.
Nick Fuentes, here, I'm about to show you guys, had all of his crypto frozen, all of it, for what happened on January 6th. So when people keep saying that's going to happen here, bro, it already did, man. It already happened here. I'm telling you, people, I don't know if it's on purpose or on accident because there is so much stuff that comes in front of you. I get it. I get it. But this stuff already happened in our country. There are still people in jail
Being
for
dang.
doing absolutely nothing, standing on the lawn, walking in the building. Glenn Beck keeps warning us about this. Yeah.
So there's a dude. I'm trying to think of his name. He's like a money coach, and one of the things that he's been talking about recently, I don't know what his name is. I have to look him and find him. But he's like coaches billionaires, right? Like he's a wealth coach. And
Mhm.
he keeps saying if people understood who was behind crypto, they'd run. And he's alluded to the fact that this is like Russia and China basically robbing the wealth from the lowest on the totem pole. Because think about this, right? Crypto was available to people with the least amount of money first. You didn't have big people buying into it until recently, and now they talk about this, and it's like what happens if we just delivered all of our wealth to a foreign actor, and they're gonna say, well, now we got your money. You exchanged your dollars for blockchain. this whole NFT conversation, right? Like you don't own nothing, and you'll be happy. Like think about who's saying that, right? Like, and these people are buying
UN.
NFT. Yeah, these NFTs. Like you don't own nothing, but you spending gang of money on it.
Wow. Here it is. I'm going to show you guys this article. A lot of people give Nick Fuentes a hard time. I believe in freedom of speech, although I don't agree with 96% of what he says because sometimes he's very cringe. No American should go through this. You know, it's not Canada first. It's America first. This already happened in our country, and you have people that you can go talk to. And that's another reason I think they make him top enemy number one is because this shit has happened to him. He is dealing with the government when it comes to January 6th. So let's make him the worst guy on the planet because he has some ignorant things to say about Jews. Well, people say ignorant stuff about people every day. You don't see them getting censored or shut down. It's life. It happens. People say ignorant shit about black people. Do you think I want them shut down? I don't, because I feel like they have their freedom to say whatever they want. Because I'm probably going to say something ignorant about Jews, about Chinese people, about Mexicans, because we've all done it. So the censorship of this guy, I think more people should pay attention. Really pay attention to who they're trying to silence and why. Everything that's happened in Canada already happened here. It already
haven't been paying attention to it, yeah. But to this comment, you know, they freeze mobsters' money all the time. But this is like that's a. I mean, yeah, sometimes like this happens so rarely. And this is what we're talking about is the everyman, right? The dude who got his $600 stimmy and was like, Oh, some Dogecoin. What's up? Well, that's straight robbery. That's straight robbery, right? Like you don't know who's behind all that.
Exactly. And there's more to come. I agree. Freedom for all, not just for some. I agree. Tell conservatives that because they want certain people to have freedom, just like the left does. They don't like when I start to compare them to the left. Then you know how many conservatives don't like me now? They're like, why are you not talking about the left anymore? I'm like, why aren't
900 of
you
them.
talking about the right?
Listen,
How long are we going to talk about the left?
The left is what it is. People know that beast. When are we going to start talking? This is that whole clean your own house analogy, right? Like people think that this red wave that's coming is gonna somehow undo what's already been done. I'm telling you, these people, it's a misunderstanding. No, they move the goalposts, and we're all just trying to live within that new goalposts. And if you think that people are going to come back and move those goalposts back, I think I think that ship has sailed. So you gotta be ready to mobilize and say, well, I'm going to do something different. And I'm telling you, it's as simple as just living your life as a free person. And I think in more people that do that, then it gets simple real quick. People just say, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm done playing these games. My kid's not going to school if they got to wear a mask. I'm not playing, and watch those dollars shift. Watch how people, move and shake at that point. But I also at the same time, like these big events, like what's going on in Canada and stuff right now, they are distracting to the point where you can't help but look at them.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't allow the individual here to be like, well, how am I going to go about my life normal again?
Yeah, man. They sure did a number. They did a mental number on everybody. Really did. Not me, because I pick and choose when I wear a mask. There are some times where I will walk into the BX and have to force somebody to tell me to put on a mask. If you don't tell me to put it on, or if I don't see anything posted, I'm not wearing it. And when I do wear it, it's like right here at my top lip. I don't even wear a freaking mask the right way.
This is a good question, and my interesting answer is I don't think so. Remember, he's the one that instituted 15 days to slow the spread. I always jump back. So I always jump back to 2015. My uncle asked me a question. He's not that much older than I am. He said, "What do you think of Trump?" And I said, "I don't know, man. He's an interesting dude, but my concern is that he gets drunk on power." And one of the things that I'll always point out is how far the pendulum has swung to one side right now. If you get him back, the pendulum could swing completely the opposite direction, and people talk about fascism now. Wait until somebody and look, Trump from an economic standpoint, that was my dude. But I'm telling you, like when it comes to social policy, it worries me and it concerns me about how far that pendulum could swing back if there's not middle ground that we can find in the meantime. And it's people I think miss that when we're talking about whether or not he should be the nominee or not. Is he's a pretty drunk on power dude, and you get him back in office, and then all of a sudden he gets to put his foot to the neck. What does that look like? What does that look like for people?
Don't you dare say that to any right wingers. They'll be like, oh, what? I agree with you. The pendulum swing is going to go back and forth for however long we allow it. And there were a lot of things that I didn't agree with Trump on, bro. He was pro red flag law. That means anybody can report you. A neighbor, they can call the police and say that you're doing something or you're mentally unstable. You're not supposed to have this weapon, and your gun rights could be gone.
The ATF just came out on Valentine's Day telling you to rat on.
I saw that.
Rat on your ex-lover because you don't. Nothing can make the day better than getting them in trouble or something like that. It was ridiculous.
I saw that. That was nuts. I don't know. I do these random talks to make people think. Just think about Ukraine. think about Russia, think about America. If you want to learn about foreign policy, all you honestly have to do is tune in to the WEF and listen to half of their conversations. I do it every night. I put it on and just listen to them talk. You can turn on C-SPAN, listen to all that. You can tune into Davos. Davos is a good one to check out, and look at what the UN is talking about. Look into ESG scores. Look into
Talk about
SGD
weird,
scores. Listen to all that and
your
form
social
and
score
inform.
matters.
Yeah, it's crazy because now people are like they're starting to do this in Canada. I'm like, it's already happening here. It's already happening here. Merrill Lynch starting to give their employees SCG scores, social scores. Look it up. You don't got to believe me. Go fact check everything I said here. I'm just here to make you think. I think it's fun and interesting. I hope you learned something here today. I do have to get off because I got to go get my babies from school. But yeah, Monday is going to be an interesting show. I told people that I'm going to be starting. I'm gonna divide up these shows that I do so that it's not all on one page. Reactions are going to be on the other YouTube, and more of my like formal based shows will be here. But I'm going to start talking about Republicans that are in support of log cabin Republicans, and they don't call out the lobbying that they do. I think it's pretty interesting since we're fighting against communism. We're fighting against so much. It's culture against culture, ideology against ideology. It's just so much. So tune in on Monday. I'm possibly going to have the guy that I'm talking about on with me, but most of these guys spook. They go back and look at videos that I do, and they're like, no, I'm going to have a rain check. Can't be answering those questions. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm out.